that the cost of everything that our citizens had to purchase went up. It was unanticipated revenue. It is a one-time revenue source. Hopefully inflation goes down. But that being said, with sitting on that money, I decided that this money belongs back in the pockets of our citizens. 8.6 million individuals and families will benefit. I need to get this through the legislature, but I'm anticipating these checks to go out as soon as the legislative session is over. Anywhere from $500 for a family down to $300 for individuals filing individually. So we're feeling really good about it, a lot of energy, and people are so excited to know that someone is listening to them about their complaints about affordability, as we have done for the last 3 years in the state of New York with many, many policies that are making a real difference for our communities. Thank you.
Great. Anything on topic?
Governor,
Byrne?
are you or your budget director concerned that this could drive up inflation similar to the Trump COVID checks that went out? And also, why not just announce a tax cut?
Because I want to make sure it gets directly back in the hands of New Yorkers in a way that they feel. People doing their taxes, there's other tax cuts, there's other benefits. This is something I want them to know it's tangible. This is your money. It is a unique source of funding. This is not the normal revenues being returned to you if you overpaid. This is money that all New Yorkers overpaid because inflation was just too damn high for the last 3 years. So we'll manage our resources. This is unanticipated revenue. The choice is, do we keep it, or do we put it back in the pockets of those who were overpaid for everything from toothpaste to diapers for the last 3 years? I want it back in the pockets of New Yorkers, and I think they appreciate that as well.
But are you
Henry?
worried it could drive up inflation again?
No.
Henry?
Governor, another tangible way this could have been felt is to plug the hole in the MTA and do away with congestion pricing, which has been this political football now for a little while that you've had to deal with. Why not go that direction? Why not plug the hole in the MTA?
I have 20 million New Yorkers. The vast majority of them do not live within the regions served by the MTA. I wanted something that every New Yorker from the North Country to Buffalo to the southern tier to the far reaches of Long Island and the city of New York felt directly. This is for people to know that there's money back in their pockets. If they want to use it to pay their commuting costs, they can. If they want to use it to help pay their doctor's bills or any extra costs of groceries, know that it's going to be there for the next holiday season. I want New Yorkers to be able to make their own decision, not have me as we do with the rest of the budget. This is for them.
I know you got to draw a line somewhere, but how did you land on 300 and 150?
I decide that there's a lot of people in that middle class category who feel they've not been heard, and $150,000 sounds like a lot in some parts of our state, and in some parts like the city, you're barely getting by. So that was a recognition of the huge cost differentials and what that means in your individual communities. So it's a big state, a lot of different factors to consider, and I wanted to have the most people get the most benefit that we could.
Anything else on topic? Guys in the back? All right.
All right, thanks everybody.
Oh, well, Governor, for off topics, what do you think about Mayor Adams saying he'd consider swapping his party registration from a Democrat to a Republican? And are you a proud Democrat? Would you ever consider making that switch as well?
No.
Well, what do you think about him saying that?
That is for you to ask him. I'm not going to give an opinion on what he chooses to do. And I'll continue working with the mayor as I did with delivering $1 billion to make sure we got the city of Yes over the finish line so we can finally start reducing the cost of living in the city by getting more housing stock, something I've been talking about straight for 2 years. I'll continue to work with anybody, no matter what they call themselves, as long as they're going to help New York State, all the way from the president on down.
Great.
On the
Thanks,
affordability
everybody.
front, what about the mayor's plan to try and reduce or eliminate the city tax for low income, especially parents? Your thoughts on that?
That's something that I know is for families earning under $46,000, and I think it's a good, smart policy for the mayor.
Great. Thanks.
Any thoughts on the ban on going on in New York City and any reaction to that horrible tragedy?
It was a horrible crime committed in our streets. It was brazen. And I immediately jumped in action, offered all the assistance we could from our crime analysis centers, our state police fanning out all over the state, especially when it became possibly that the culprit has left the city confines. I want to make sure the state police were there. So it shakes people to their core. I will say this. You can feel what you want to about insurance companies, and I'm not a big fan. And there's a lot of people who are suffering because they've not had the support they've needed when their families or they themselves have been sick. I understand that. That is a real feeling. But that'll never justify the commentary that is going on out there about the loss of a human being, the assassination of an individual on the streets of New York. We should all be shocked and outraged by that, and as I am. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Work with the mayor. What about sanctuary city laws?